What up, WeHo? Halloween's right around the corner, which means pretty soon Santa Monica Boulevard will be swarming with sexy tigers, sexy firemen, and even sexy Pokemon. Hey, Big Pikachu, I choose you. Welcome to WeHoTV News. Happy September, West Hollywood. I'm Mike Siriaco, and I'm bringing you everything you need to know about WeHo, courtesy of the city of West Hollywood. A lot has gone down since we last spilled the tea, so we're going to bring you up to speed with the WeHo wind-up. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. After multiple hurricanes rocked the U.S., Trump generously vowed billions of dollars in relief. I wonder why. The city of West Hollywood passed some knowledge to the left-hand side at the 3rd Annual Cannabis Education Forum. Political commentary won big at this year's Emmys, while the city of West Hollywood won big at the Savvy Awards. If abstract sculpture made sweet love to a game of Tetris, it would probably look like Jose Davila's Sense of Place. And moviegoers flocked to theaters to see It, a movie featuring a grotesque, terrifying clown. As you probably know, It was based on a book, and that book is What Happened by Hillary Clinton. Seriously though, that clown is pants-crappingly terrifying, so you better change into some fresh news briefs. Over Labor Day weekend, the City of West Hollywood co-sponsored the 3rd Annual WeHo Sports Festival, which included traditional sports such as tennis and basketball, as well as a rock-paper-scissors competition hosted by Vicky Vox. Next year, the game will be an adaptation for millennial players called Block, Retweet, Swipe Right. On September 7th, the West Hollywood Library hosted a classic movie matinee screening of An American in Paris. And in light of the current French president, expect the star of the American in Paris sequel to be me. Bonjour, Monsieur Macron. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? As part of the City of West Hollywood's Be Well WeHo series, a mindfulness series stress reduction workshop was presented on September 13th, which taught a variety of techniques to detect and alleviate stress, which was definitely better than the strategy Tina Fey taught me. On September 16th, the County of Los Angeles Department of Public Works hosted Too Toxic to Trash, a hazardous waste collection event. Acceptable toxic trash included brake fluid, paint thinner, and pesticides. Not included, toxic trashy ex-boyfriends. Honestly, I'd probably make out with half these guys anyway. Call me. The West Hollywood Sheriff's Station hosted Coffee with a Cop on September 27th, which gave community members the opportunity to participate in an informal dialogue about public safety. But let me stress that this should not be confused with Cocktails with a Cop. It's a very different event. Bring singles. Now put that back in your holster, officer, because you're stretching out these news briefs. Between the hurricanes pummeling Texas and Florida, and the earthquakes rocking Los Angeles and Mexico, the need for disaster preparation is more evident than ever before. Fortunately, September was National Preparedness Month, which focused on strategic planning in case of emergencies. Knowing what to do in an emergency or disaster is the key to a quick response and recovery. The City of West Hollywood's Public Safety Department is dedicated to providing you with the tools you need to be better prepared. Here's a quick rundown of the basics, with the help of some classic disaster movies. Make a plan. Put together a plan that covers how you will receive emergency alerts, shelter, communications, and evacuation routes. Plan to help your neighbors. Comprehensive preparedness requires the whole community to participate. 46% of individuals expect to rely a great deal on people in their neighborhood for assistance within the first 72 hours after a disaster. Practice. Be sure to participate in an emergency drill and prepare an emergency kit with at least a 3-day supply of non-perishable foods.
It's out of control, and it's coming your way.
Get involved. Don't let this be you. Get involved and share preparedness information with your friends, neighbors, and community. We should all take action to prepare now so that we can help each other in the event of a future emergency or disaster. Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. And Irma wasn't the only fierce female tearing through September. We go now to Eddie Robinson at Frida-Fest.
I'm Eddie Robinson, and this is WeHoTV News. It's an evening of music, art, and exhibition here at Plummer Park's Fiesta Hall as we honor the cultural impact of artist Frida Kahlo.
My back is strong, strong enough to take pain.
The city of West Hollywood recently co-sponsored the Frida-Fest Art and Music Festival. Hosted by the L Project Los Angeles, this annual event was created to celebrate the Mexican painter and feminist icon Frida Kahlo. It also showcased her work's impact on lesbian, bisexual, and transgender lesbian visual and performing artists from the greater Los Angeles area.
A lot of us know the beautiful face, the beautiful pictures, but we don't really know the story of Frida. So I think we're all going to leave with a little bit more education on who Frida was and what she represents to us. We're going to walk away refreshed, smiling, and even more empowered that we're together and we're happy.
We spoke to the organizers of the event to find out why this event is significant for LGBTQI women, friends, and families.
I think what the Frida-Fest represents for the community is a sense of freedom in expression. For particularly our focus is women of color, of all racial and ethnic backgrounds, as well as the LGBT community.
The evening explored the work of Kahlo with performances by headliner Diane Katz, among many others.
It's about empowering women. And in today's world, we need to step up, we need to stand up, we need to say who we are.
We also had an opportunity to learn more about the purpose of L Project LA.
We are on a mission to empower women who identify as lesbian, bisexual, trans, intersex, and queer through art and technology.
The significance of the event was especially appreciated by the attendees.
They have really taken, I think, the essence of who she is and her art, and they have beautiful work here. And there's just the stories behind the art as well, of each individual artist that has been here that I've been able to talk to. I think it's beautiful.
For more information on upcoming events from the City of West Hollywood's WeHo Arts program, visit weho.org/arts. I'm Eddie Robinson, WeHoTV News.
Thanks, Eddie. Now, Frida wasn't the only one being celebrated this month. The City of West Hollywood's bike share program, WeHoPedals, had its first birthday. I guess someone is too big for training wheels now. For more on this, we go now to the WeHoPedals Year 1 recap.
The City of West Hollywood's WeHoPedals bike share program is celebrating. We're turning 1, and we've covered a lot of ground over the past year. WeHoPedals members took more than 13,600 trips, adding up to over 20,000 miles. And we stayed healthy by burning 800,000 calories. Using bikes instead of cars also kept 17,700 pounds of carbon dioxide from polluting the air. We begin with hubs all over West Hollywood and nearby places like 24-Hour Fitness, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, West Hollywood Park, Plummer Park, and the Gateway. Now we've expanded. Ride to Runyon Canyon for a hike or pedal to the Grove for shopping. Next up, WeHoPedals will team up with bike share systems in the cities of Santa Monica and Beverly Hills, as well as UCLA, so that WeHoPedals members can enjoy even more bike share options. So, happy birthday, WeHoPedals! Here's to many more miles ahead. Visit WeHoPedals.com.
If you're a fan of WeHoPedals and other West Hollywood programs, then you're in luck. Our city is currently incorporating a number of technological innovations into our urban infrastructure. For more on this, we go now to WeHoTV's very own C3PO of silliness, Nick Catelli.
Years ago, people used to believe that the 21st century was going to be filled with flying cars, battling robot overlords, and then that weird prediction in Back to the Future 2 where everyone in the future was just like really, really into the 80s. Well, the City of West Hollywood is taking a step in the right direction and initiating smart technology. I'm Nick Catelli for WeHoTV News, and this is the WeHo Smart City Pop-Up. The City of West Hollywood is looking towards the future with its Smart City initiative. Kind of been broken down into categories from sustainability, mobility, accessibility, resiliency, and transparency. Here at the pop-up, people can vote on the technologies that they're interested in. Where are we going? Is it going to be more of like a Star Trek world? Are we going to the Jetsons?
I see a mix of everything. I think you think about an environment that's completely responsive to you. So you walk into a room or walk around the city and it actually responds and adapts to you as the user. But then at the same time, it's also providing really cool things that help you connect better with where you live, which I think is a little bit of Star Trek and a little bit of Jetsons combined.
Okay, I like both of those things, so that actually would work very good for me.
The city of West Hollywood has laid a really solid foundation already with its commitment to sustainability and resiliency. And so what we're doing is building on the existing resources of the city to really look down the road.
A little weary about AI stuff.
Well, one thing that we have to be conscious of is the one asset that is continuing to grow for cities is the availability of data. More and more data is being generated every day. So AI is a powerful tool in trying to understand what that data is telling us so that we can actually inform operational changes, thinking differently about how we plan for our city, how we staff our city, how we also take care of our community.
Well, I think another like good technology that I hope that, maybe we'll see it today or gets developed is like a device that helps me and my wife, figure out what to eat for dinner.
We do have that device. That's me.
Is it? Yeah. See, sometimes I'm looked upon to be that device, and I'm just like, malfunction.
But that's the idea. There's beacon technology, for example, where you can be walking down the street and you may have no idea that something cool is happening around the corner, and it pings you and tells you that something awesome is happening, or identifies a cultural amenity that you may have never discovered before. But the idea is that you can right-size the experience to fit you as an individual, and I think that's pretty exciting.
So it'll be great to see kind of what technology gets developed out of this smart tech pop-up. Hopefully, they won't have some sort of robot reporter to take over my job. That's the one thing I'm not going to lie, I fear the most. But again, I'm Nick Catelli for WeHoTV News, and this was the WeHo Smart City pop-up.
Thank you, Nick, for that glimpse into WeHo's not-so-distant future. Of course, it's just as important to reflect on our shared past, lest we repeat the same mistakes. We now join Asher Rodriguez at a recent screening of the thought-provoking documentary, 13th.
I'm Asher Rodriguez, and this is WeHoTV News. Here in the city of West Hollywood, we remain committed to human rights and support for all people. Our Human Rights Speaker Series offers the public a chance to engage in a dialogue about local, national, and global human rights issues. Tonight's event at the Pacific Design Center's Silver Screen Theater featured a screening of the Emmy-nominated film 13th, which focuses on one of the most pressing human rights issues of our time, mass incarceration. The United States accounts for 5% of the world's population, but makes up 25% of the world's prisoners. According to Human Rights Watch, the United States also has the highest rate of incarceration. Tyree Boyd Pates, curator and program manager at the African American History Museum, details how the United States became the country of prisons.
The black codes were responsible for making inroads into the prison industrial complex by further criminalizing African Americans, and so much that the same black codes would be instituted on some of the areas in where the penitentiaries exist. And it's really just an evolution that has persisted for this long, and there's really great work of abolition being done to subvert that and hopefully bring about equality for all.
Policies like the 3-strike rule and mandatory minimums were implemented to address rising spikes in crime, but they only proved to stigmatize an already vulnerable group.
Black Lives Matter is a call to action. It's really a push for Black people and our allies to stand together, join a movement, and to challenge anti-Black racism wherever it is. We're at the policy table. Many of us are challenging local government. We are challenging statewide and national government. We do that by direct action. We do that by pushing for particular policy and laws.
The movement to reduce mass incarceration is growing, but the fight isn't just in the street.
13th really cuts to the core of white supremacy, of the intentional attack on Black people, on the way in which capitalism is used to extract any wealth or any holdings that people might have. I think the 13th really lays out a clear picture of what's happening and at the core.
For more information about the city's Human Rights Speaker Series, visit weho.org/HRSS. Reporting from the Pacific Design Center, I'm Asher Rodriguez for WeHoTV News.
Thanks, Asher. The fight for equality is an important thread in the fabric of America, and these fighters take many forms. On a lighter note, we go now to a group of diverse combatants who live a little closer to home. From Hercules grappling with Antaeus to Darren Young leg-locking The Miz, Western civilization has long been fascinated by wrestling. Wrestling was added to the original Olympic Games in 708 BC, and over the centuries has featured competitors of various races, genders, and sexual orientations. This dedication to inclusivity and healthy competition is reflected in the principles of the Southern California Wrestling Club, LA's premier adult freestyle wrestling organization, which was recently honored by the West Hollywood City Council. SoCal Wrestling Club's dedication to diversity traces back to its founding in 1972, making it one of the oldest gay wrestling organizations in the country. It rose to prominence in 1982 when it dominated the inaugural Gay Games in San Francisco, a legacy SoCal's wrestlers hope to continue when they compete at next summer's Gay Games in Paris. And how do I know so much about the SoCal Wrestling Club? Because I'm a member. In order to better understand what we do, we invited WeHoTV News to visit one of our practices to see our camaraderie, diversity, and me getting my butt kicked over and over again.
So if I can crawl forward, he's in the soft part of my stomach, and it's harder to keep the lock in, and I'm going here.
When I was in high school, there was a wrestling team, but I didn't feel comfortable going out for it because I was gay. And after I moved to LA about 10 years ago, I was just looking around for some place that maybe I could learn wrestling at, and I found this club, which is us, Southern California Wrestling Club. So actually we had a great coach at that time, Steve Ford from West Hollywood, and he worked with me for years. And slowly but surely I kind of built it up over the years, and now here I am. We run the club here and been doing that for about 5 years.
In addition to creating a safe space for its members, SoCal Wrestling also aspires to make the world around it safer.
95% of self-defense is your attitude. What if you do if somebody is fearful of you simply because you are a different person? And also the preemptive strikes, which is education, educating the community about different kinds of people, different kinds of races, different kinds of sexual orientations. Through education, which I do at the college and we do here, maybe, just maybe, that individual who may have some fear or some anger towards somebody different than him, maybe that individual will be a little less likely to attack, insult, or to terrorize somebody.
What is the most important lesson that you've learned since you've gotten here?
Just keep coming back no matter what. When you feel like you're down, just get right back up again.
Sage advice, both on and off the mat. That's it this month. We'll be back in October with some Halloween costume tips, a conversation about WeHo Artes, and as always, more news, noise, and nonsense. Until then, keep it cute, WeHo.